Hello, hello. I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a minute, my friends. I have missed you all. I've been hearing from so many of you checking in and asking what's up and saying that you miss my updates, and so I so genuinely appreciate that. But I'm happy to be back. I have taken so much time to just rest and play and integrate these new energies because I'm actually a completely transformed and different person. I could talk for a long time about the things that have happened, but it has been so potent and powerful, and I really just have had an inside out glow up. And so it's been like magic has just been happening behind the scenes. If you've been in my containers, you know. But things have been happening behind the scenes. I just haven't been showing up and putting my face online. So I'm happy to be back because we have a really epic new moon in Aquarius happening on January 29th at 9 degrees of Aquarius. And right after this new moon, Uranus stations direct, and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, where Pluto now lies for the next 20 plus years. And so we're really entering this Aquarius frequency. And if you've been, subscribed to my email updates, I've been sending out a lot of emails and messaging about this new Aquarius frequency that we're entering. And the thing with Aquarius is it's a vibration, right? You can see it in the sign. It's two squiggles, right? It quite literally teaches us about the law of attraction. Whatever you are vibrating at is what you will attract into your reality. Like attracts like, right? And so it's so important right now to use this Mars retrograde in Cancer energy and this new moon to really clear out your past energy and your past frequency, where you were in alignment with things that you don't want, right? Where you were in alignment with people that just didn't meet and match and mirror you in your complete divinity of love and uniqueness, and really where you were forced to be disempowered and small and not your purest form of your potent fucking self, right? And so we have been shedding. We've been really shedding. I feel all of January. January has been emotional. And that is because Mars retrograde has been in Cancer, opposing Pluto. And Pluto really is the deepest subconscious, visceral, primal DNA, like energetics, right? It is like your deepest fear, your deepest subconscious shadow, the deepest parts of your soul, right? It is your deepest grief. It is your deepest emotions. It is the things that you hold and you cling onto that you're not even that you're not even consciously aware of, that are controlling and manipulating your reality, but you don't have conscious awareness of it. And so this Mars retrograde opposing Pluto in Aquarius is really expunging all of these emotions from your past pain with the goal of opening your heart, right? Cancer rules the heart. It rules, it initiates the cycle of giving and receiving. Cancer is really the inward heart. It is your vulnerability. It is your emotions. It is your tenderness. It is your needs. It is your feelings. Cancers are deep feelers. It is motherhood, right? It is that connection to the divine mother. And what happens is when your heart is closed, you really actually keep yourself from receiving. And so we're having to really soften and open our hearts right now. And that requires visiting some of these pains and these emotions from our past. And the thing with our emotions is your emotions will cloud your judgment. I really look at like your emotions as like a filter. It is the filter in which you see the world. So if you have emotions that are from wounding, neediness, fear, codependency, I just need to get my needs met, like really like the disempowered feminine energy, right? Like then you're going to see and view the world from that distorted lens. And so now we're really having to like pull all of these like swords that we've experienced from, you know, what it's like being a human. We get our hearts hurt, and really just learn to be vulnerable with ourselves, learn emotional control, learn to meet our own emotional needs, pour into ourselves, and really learn to ask for our needs to be met, and really revisit all of the pains too that we encountered with our own mother, right? Our own childhood, right? Where we didn't get our needs met, where we didn't fully feel emotionally nurtured and satisfied and supported, right? And because that is the thing that blocks your heart from receiving love, receiving the goodness, right? Receiving the joy, receiving the fulfillment, receiving the happiness, right? And so it's like all of these past pains are surfacing and you just have to like be brave and bold and courageous enough to move through the emotions, because always on the other side of the emotions is the opening, right? It is the softening, it is the cracking open. And so it's like you're creating, like the more you feel and can process and release your emotions, the more you're creating openness for the goodness that you want. And so right now, as we lead up to this new moon, because the moon goes dark before it's new, right? And it's rebirth with the new moon when the moon passes the sun, right? It's like we're just purging out these energies from a very visceral place. And so give yourself a lot of love these next few days before the moon is new, because it's really important that you release these frequencies, because it's like your magic and the abundance and the love and the next level and like the fucking glow up is on the other side. And we're really in this like electric change energy. Uranus is the ruler of this new moon. I'm like so excited about this new moon. I've been waiting for this new moon since the start of the new year, because January I feel like has been really it's been like really fun actually. Like I've like you know, I've just like opened my heart so much and like really just connected, been in my feminine. So it's really been beautiful, but it has definitely been emotional. I know it's been emotional for a lot of you. And now it's like once this new moon happens, it's like we're actually like hitting the ground running with this new frequency. Uranus always speeds things up. And so when it stations direct after this new moon, it's like, all right, game on. we're like full speed ahead. And actually, like the first card I pulled for us with this new moon, it was the Chariot. And it's like, right, game on, baby. Energy is going to start to quicken. And the thing that with Uranus stationing direct, so Uranus has been retrograde since September 1st, 2024. So it has been retrograde for 5 months. And when an outer planet turns retrograde, it's really a time for us to internally create shifts. I could say that with every planet, but we have a long time to work with the outer planets retrograde. Like 5 months is a long time. And so think back to where you were September 1st and to where you are now, right? I've had to do a lot of internal shifting. And that is what Uranus requires, because Uranus rules change. And so you have to internally shift and change to be met with the external shift and change. And what Uranus and Taurus is doing is activating and awakening the divine feminine, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is the divine feminine. And Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018, activating and awakening these divine feminine frequencies. And in order to do that, it's like there is your root is tested. And that's what a big major collective theme that I have seen so far in January has been, is people's root chakras are being attacked to awaken the divine feminine. And I like literally have dozens and dozens of examples of me seeing this. And we could go macro too and like look at the collective and what's kind of been happening on a collective level as people's root chakras are like getting clean, you know, like people losing their homes, stuff like that. That's like what's more traumatic for your root chakra than that, right? And it's like, it's all this like cleansing and purifying and this like clearing out energy, so that the divine feminine can come like into power and into balance, right? Because it is such a unique frequency. It's a powerful frequency. And the feminine has been distorted, right? And so with it being in Taurus, it's like the number one thing that has distorted it is the wounding of Taurus, of fear, of lack, of scarcity, right? Because the number one thing a feminine woman does is she feels safe and secure and supported in her body, and she is trusting, right? And she is appreciative of the physical 3D pleasures. Taurus is super somatic. It is abundant, it is grounded, it is grateful, it is, you know, it is overflowing with resources, right? That is Mother Earth frequency. Mother Earth is Taurus, right? We can just learn everything that we need to know about the 3D world through observing Earth. Like that is Taurus at its core, right? And so if we can think about that, it's like, where are you actually needing to like embody these divine feminine anchors? So I've really focused in January on anchoring in these really kind of like rich frequencies into my home. You can even like just tell on my backdrop. My backdrop's different, right? Like I've reorganized my home. I've like just taken care of myself in new ways, because how you treat yourself, your self-worth, your self-value is what is reflected back to you in your 3D. That is what Taurus rules. It is about the self-love that you give to yourself, which will be reflected back by the universe. And so you actually need to like crank up your self-love frequency, like to like you have to like 100x it. And it's like that is a part of like the divine feminine rising. It's like women, we actually like can't afford for you not to be empowered in your feminine and seeing and viewing and appreciating your beauty. And we can just see that in Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth, what is more beautiful than Mother Earth, right? And so there is a value and appreciation in the beauty of the femininity, right? And so it's like seeing and recognizing that within yourself, and then really like anchoring in those 3D tangible things that make you feel really fucking good, right? Because a woman that feels good in her body and in her skin and in her heart, that is a powerful fucking woman. And that is really what is needing to be fully like full blast turned on right now. And Uranus direct is supporting you with this. And then this new moon in Aquarius is really turning on like your authentic signature energy. And it's like this like full like restart energy of like actually everything that you want comes from forgiving and reconciling the pain of your past and just starting with this clear and clean blank slate. And what happens when you're upgrading and you're up leveling is the past comes back in. And you can't like fear the loss of like what used to be. You can feel the emotions of it, of like, oh, like that person was so special to me in that moment in time. But it's also trusting, right? Because Uranus, Taurus is about trust, right? It is like the trust of the resources, right? Like animals in Africa, like I always think about this, right? They always trust that the resources are going to replenish, right? If there is a drought, I could say this like with probably all animals, but this is what they studied in Africa with the animals there in the savannah, right? That they never stopped procreating and they never stopped playing in the midst of droughts, right? Because they were so present in their 3D bodies, and they were so trusting that the universe will always just replenish and provide for them, right? And that is Taurus at its core. It is like, I am so trusting that I can just be in my feminine and that the resources and everything that I need is going to be provided for, right? And so I can just be circulating and I can be grounded and I can enjoy this 3D sensual pleasures, right? I can enjoy the food, I can have the dessert, I can like have the nice smelling candles, the lush blankets, right? I can go out and experience and appreciate nature and its beauty. I'm secure and I'm solid and I'm safe with myself, right? I'm dependent on myself for success, and I'm aware of my needs, and I am connected with like that essence, right? An appreciation for the physical things, and really just rooted and grounded in like the creature comforts, right? Taurus is very simple actually, but it teaches us about manifestation in the 3D realm, right? And then Pisces teaches us about quantum manifestation, which is what we're all learning now that the North Node is in Pisces. And so then we can go and we can look to Pisces, right? Because the ruler of this Taurus energy, where Uranus is stationing direct, is Venus. And Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she is smushed between Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and also with the North Node. And so this is important because Pisces teaches us to release and surrender and trust and allow and really loosen the grip, right? Because that's the shadow side of Taurus. It can really cling. It is stubborn, it is fixed, it is rooted. And Pisces is all about, I just have such divine trust in the oneness and the wholeness of the universe, and I trust that I am provided for and that I'm supported, and like I can just feel safe and float around in the ocean like a goddamn mermaid because everything that I need is provided for. And then it's usually using that connection to a higher power in your higher self and the spirituality of it all to then ground it in, because Pisces needs to be grounded in order to create like the magic here on earth. And if it's not, that's when it gets really lost in the sauce and it like can just get taken out to sea. And then it goes into like the wallowy, victim-y shadows of Pisces, the escapist. And it's like, no, Pisces actually has the potential to be the most powerful sign in the zodiac, right? Because it has all of the wisdom and the teachings of all of the signs before it. Pisces is where things come full circle, right? It opens and closes loops. And so we're really going to be learning and mastering that this year with the North Node in Pisces. But you actually have to release the pain in your heart in order for that to come to fruition. This will be about relationships test too in the next 6 weeks, because Uranus rules relationships, Venus rules relationships. Venus will be stationing retrograde in Pisces. It will station retrograde in Aries and then transit back into Pisces. And so our hearts are getting recalibrated. So look at, how the South Node in Libra went for you. If there was lessons that you needed to learn, you're having an opportunity to now integrate it and really allow that divine feminine heart to turn on and soften and open. And in order to do that, your boundaries need to be A1. Boundaries are your best friend as a feminine woman. I can say that for anyone, but no, the divine feminine cannot be the divine feminine if she does not have boundaries, because then anyone has access to her light, and that is just like you're giving. I was explaining this to a friend the other day. I was like, then it's like you're giving someone the blood suckers you're just giving them your arm to suck and deplete you, right? It's like no energy vampires, right? It's equal exchange. This is what we learned with South Node in Libra, and this is what Taurus is about, is I give and receive, I give and receive. That's what the heart is about with Cancer. I give and receive. So if you are a giver, you should automatically be receiving back. And if you're not, it's because there's an energetic imbalance there, and you most likely need to have stronger boundaries and open your heart bigger, because that is what's so vulnerable about the Cancer energy, right? Whoa, confirmation burp. You have to feel safe being vulnerable. And I say Cancer because that's where Mars is retrograde, right? And that's going back to the beginning. It's like you actually have to be vulnerable enough to open your heart to receive joy, to receive love, to receive happiness, to receive abundance. All these good things that we want, you have to open your heart. when women say to me that like I've been single for 10 years, I mean, relatable, no judgment, that's myself. But it's like, your heart's not open, my love. Your heart's not open. And you got to firm up those boundaries so that you're not letting any dude that wants access to you into your reality, right? So you got to raise your standards. You got to raise your self-worth and your self-value with that Taurus energy. And then you got to have that masculine with that Aries, where we're learning with Aries energy, to be like, no, 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 no. Only the people who can match our level of our energetic level and hold us as women actually get to have access to our power and potency, right? And so this is going to be kick-started with this new moon. And it's going to be unfolding over time, the next like 6 weeks or so, I would say, really through probably April until Mars will station direct and then Venus will station direct. But we're really clearing and closing out cycles this year. And this new moon is really like a turning point of like electric change. And it's really an awakening in the rise of the divine feminine. And so get really clear on who you want to be, like what kind of woman, what kind of person you want to be in the world, right? And then you have to shed and peel back all of the layers where you're not fully embodying that. This new moon is getting a benefic boost from Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is still retrograde though. Jupiter will station direct, I believe, on February 4th. And so once Jupiter stations direct, it's like, okay, we can have actual, like, things are going to be picking up pace and speed really quickly. I'm actually like going to show you these cards because first of all, we had the Chariot. And then we had the Devil. Ooh, she's a devil. Dun, 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 dun. Then we have the Ten of Cups, the Star, and the Feminine. And so it's like, again, it's like we're clearing and we're closing out all of these shadows around where the divine feminine has been distorted. And it's like, then we have the Five of Pentacles with the Fool and with the Ace of Cups and the Wheel. So there is so much divine blessings and magic and openings happening, but it's like you can't actually be worried about what happened in the past. You can't be focused on what's lacking, what's not there. You can't be in that woe, victim-y, woe is me, disempowered feminine energy, right? A queen is not disempowered. She is strong in her worth and her energy, right? She's just like, no, like, this is what I'm leading from my open heart. This is what it gets to be, and this is what gets to happen, and things get to be easy. And so really, like, this is probably the main thing I've had to be working through lately, is that we don't really have a lot of feminine expanders of what it means to be successful from the feminine lens, because the feminine energy is really missing from the planet. And so you really actually have to anchor into your spirituality and the trust in the divine, and really just let your heart be your guide, and like trust your heart and trust your connection, because like the way things are going to work moving forward is it's just like your feminine energy is just going to bring everything in. It's like your energy is the fruits of your labor, which goes against everything that we've been taught. And so that's what we're going to be building with the next 20 plus years of Pluto and Aquarius. And this gets started with this new moon. And so there's just really like activating energy with this new moon. And it's really a powerful new moon. Like I said, I've been like waiting for so long for this new moon. And it's at 9 degrees and a 9 year. It's really a clearing energy. And so really be intentional with this new moon about who you want to be moving forward with this year. Like, what are the qualities? What are the attributes of the woman that you want to be, right? We as society, we're not taught how to be women. We're not taught to be powerful, high-valued, high-level women. So what does that look like for you? And get really specific about the energy that you exude and the kind of person that you are. And then write down like a plan about how you're going to make that happen. right? Does she get her nails done? Does she have a certain color hair? This is what I mean about frequency anchors, right? Does she go to the gym? Like, does she go on daily walks? Does she have a dog? You know, like, who are the people that she tolerates around her? And this is really about skyrocketing your self-value and the way in which you see yourself. Like, do you see yourself as a high-value woman, right? Do you see yourself as an asset, right? Just your energy. Do you see your energy as an asset? Do you surround yourself with people who really see and value you? That's like such a game changer, right? Do you surround yourself with people who elevate you, who challenge you, who motivate you, who inspire you, right? Or are you around people where you have to like hold your throat, hold your tongue, right? Taurus is about the throat. So let that baby rip, be direct, and really just fall in love with yourself. Like, that's really what it is. Like, can you fall in love with how like unique and special you are? Because you are, right? I did a reel one time about this, but it's like your feminine energy is like your closet. Like, no two women have the same closets, right? It's like, your closet is something that's special and that is curated and it's a reflection of your heart, of your energy, of your self-expression. About like, because every time you get dressed, you're like telling the world like who you are, right? That's how I look at clothes. I mean, I'm a Libra, so you know, we love makeup, we love beauty. And like, again, going back to Mother Earth shows us there's power in respecting the beauty, right? And so it's like, how are you presenting yourself? Are you presenting yourself as a slob kebab, right? Because whenever I dress like a slob kebab, I'm always in the energy of like, I don't give a fuck, right? No fucks given. But also too, like, I'm just actually like learning to just like appreciate like just having like good skin, right? Like, I'm like, I don't actually need makeup. I'm just gonna show off the fact that like my skin, it's glowing. Because we're glowing from the inside out, and just like appreciating the beauty in that, right? Like, maybe it's new ways of appreciating your own beauty. And so really, can you just like write a love letter to yourself about like, this is who we are, this is what we're doing, this is the kind of woman you are, and like literally just then take action to affirm that, you know, and really just get those abundant codes of like, okay, like, and have those physical anchors like around you in your home. Is it like a bougie like workout set that makes you feel like $1 million, you know? Like, that's going to raise your frequency more than anything else. And being around abundant, high vibrational people. And so there's this such heart opening energy right now. There's such an opportunity for you to open your heart and like have more love and magic and manifestation than you could have ever thought possible, but it's by anchoring in your divine feminine. Your love, your heart, your energy is your currency. And your energy is the technology that will bring everything that you want into you. No more hustle, no more force, no more overworking to get results. It is about surrender, it is about trust, it is about connection to your spirituality, and it's about flow. So like we're anchoring in this new self-love on the planet. And it's like Aquarius is about the we. And so it's like you actually get to be a part of this equation, you know what I mean? So many women forget about themselves in the we, you know? That's like not true partnership. If you forget about yourself in the we, that's not true balance and harmony and justice, spoken like a Libra, right? And so now this new reality is like whatever you're emitting is what immediately comes back to you. So if you're emitting love, if you're emitting abundance, if you're emitting joy, the universe is like, oh, this is what she values, this is what she appreciates, this is what she wants, so we're just gonna give her more reasons to do that and be that. And just really like look at it like a game too. Like that's just like have fun with it. It's not meant to be so serious. But really be intentional with this new moon in Aquarius and get really clear and specific on how this like new vibration looks and feels for you. So you get to make the rules. You write your reality and you script it out with your vibration. So whatever you're energetically emitting is what will get reflected back to you. So happy new mooning. Powerful time to manifest, a powerful time to receive. And it's all on the other side of you facing and feeling and clearing those emotional blocks of your past. So give lots of tender love and care to your inner child and really allow that divine feminine energy to just blast open your heart. So sending you lots of love. If you want to dive deeper, I have Astro 101. I have my Venetian Bitch Feminine Magnetism and Attraction container. I'm also opening my one-on-one coaching. That's 12 weeks of one-on-one coaching with me. And then you can, of course, book a session. So I'll post all of the links in the show notes. But happy new mooning, sending you so much love and joy and happiness. Bye, guys.